Lately I've been feeling things change. We've been working hard, no sleep, get it every day. And I swear that we ain't stopping till we pay. Yeah, the pressure on, gotta make it work, triple play, yeah.
This is Triple Play Fantasy Basketball. I am host, Coach James Lewis. On the other end, Doc Mendelson. Week 5, getting in the nitty gritty. Some people are giving up already. Don't do it. It's a long season ahead. Schedules are whack. They're loading up games played on certain days, no games the next. Like you don't really know what to do, but you have to be active to stay strong, to stay alive, and you can battle through your injuries.
James, you're sounding like a motivational speaker there. You can do it. Get out of the seasonal depression. We believe in you.
It's so funny because like sometimes you kind of get screwed with like either you have some player injuries or like the team you're playing has like 10 more games, or you play the opponent that's just like had given up at week 4. So I've seen both of it. I've seen teams that hit 50, 40, 90, and then I've played against opponents. It's like, dude, like you stopped actively putting your lineup in. And like now I'm like sitting 8 people so I can try to win field goal percentage. It's like, it's totally ridiculous. Like get you a league that has everybody playing, which
Amen.
It's a struggle, especially fantasy basketball, man. You got to have the fantasy nerds. Shout out all the fantasy nerds. Thanksgiving around the corner. I wanted to send this to you. Like, what are you thankful this basketball season? What's different this year that you appreciate?
So I appreciate FanDuel giving me 3 months of NBA League Pass for free. I've been loving watching the out-of-market games. The Hornets have some crazy announcers. I don't know if you ever heard them.
Oh, no. Oh, I well know them. Yeah. He is crazy.
I'm also thankful for the Wizards finally having a GM that's willing to tank. And albeit it's a tough product to watch this year, I feel better about our future than I ever have.
Yeah, Jordan Poole is just an eyesore, though. And, oh, my God. It's comical. It's funny. But it's your team. It's like, God damn.
What about you? What are you thankful for?
Dude, I've been a fan of this like season tournament idea. And I think that the competition is up when they play these games. The courts, I like half of them. I think they like half of them are like really cool, and then half of them like, dude, I can't see exactly what's going on. And then they have these flex jerseys, but no, I like that they set a tone and like this is different. It is a regular season game, but it means more. It helps when the Lakers win all of them and LeBron James balls out and all of them.
There's financial reward as well.
Yeah, and I think it just makes it a competitive like style, like it's going up. And I think with the NBA making it like 65 games that you got to play for you to go all NBA or win awards and things, I think players are playing more. Like Kawhi Leonard even is playing more basketball than he ever has, and I got him in one of my leagues, and it's been beneficial so far. So I like that. What do you not like?
We're not going to go there. We're not going to go. We're going to say what we're thankful for. We're going to go on the flip side.
The refs have been trash. I'm just going to say that. Like, why are people getting technicals for like just boasting because they dunk on somebody? When you dunk on somebody, you can go like, why are they getting technicals? Stupid. Sorry. Games watched, players with 2 or teams with 2. Sorry for Luka owners, Cade owners, Chet is a freaking monster. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. You only got 2. Like, you might be in a bind this week. It just happens that way. On the other end, teams that play Saturday, Sunday are the Hawks, the Nets, the Cavs. If you want to stream at the end of your week, the Hawks are usually a good streamable team because you might find Sadiq Bey, you might find DeAndre Hunter. I mean, it depends on what you need if you're playing categories, but there are people who get there. Then the Nets always have all these fluent injuries, so you don't never know. But they have fantasy viable candidates. The Cavs, whether it's Karis LeVert or Strus or who knows, depending on the injury, Okoro. Those are players to look at. Player that I've been looking at for a long time now is Keyonte George. And then within the last week, he's averaging 15, basically 7 assists, 4 rebounds, 2.5 threes, a steal. That is somebody that needs to be picked up in a 10-team league. And if the fact that half of Yahoo leagues don't have this kid is a shame. He got picked up like 2 weeks ago in my league, and I wish I was above it because I thought that he had an opportunity to steal this starting spot, and he's just better. He's just better than the rest of the guys in his position on his team. I loved everything about Keyonte George at Oregon, and now in the NBA. In the preseason, we saw it as well. We saw it in summer league. Kid is special, man. I think he's going to be a really good player in the NBA.
I mean, when we look at it too, like who is a future guard for the Jazz? They have a lot of their front court solidified with Markkanen. If they see a future with John Collins, with Walker Kessler, that backcourt is really open for Keyonte George, and he's taken full advantage of it. And, you know, James, he's somebody that you and I have wanted to talk about in weeks past. We've just kind of covered a lot of other people. Still available in 48% of leagues. He's getting more minutes, and what I like is just being more aggressive from the field. Yes, the percentage hasn't been there. He's shooting 39.3% from the season. But the last 3 games, his shot attempts, 11, 9, 12. Now, albeit not shooting a good percentage, but at least he's not afraid to shoot the ball. And
he's a better shooter than that. It's going to catch up. He's a rookie. Like he makes difficult shots. We saw that last year for Oregon as a freshman. He's a good movement shooter. He can create some space with his step back. So and it looks pure. So I think it's just a matter of time for his percentages catch up with him.
And I mean, just from the assists too, 11, 7, and 6 his last 3 games, he's going to be a solid contributor in categories leagues, points leagues. He's still valuable. He's someone that no matter the format, I think got to be rostered.
And this is the rookie show. As we move on to something that it was kind of surprising as a Washington fan is, did we maybe hit on a draft pick? Bilal Couibaly, small forward eligibility. We didn't know what his kind of role for the team was going to be. His minutes were all over the place, preseason, beginning of the year. But right now, categories league, he's filling it up all over the place. And his game against Brooklyn, where he had 20.7 boards, 3 assists, 4 steals. I mean, you see that defensive upside and ability. And yeah, he was Wemby sidekick last year, but there's a reason why he moved up to the draft this year instead of holding back. Kid has potential, and I might have been wrong when I was like, just get Walker, just get Javon Walker. He's a local guy from Baltimore. Why are we trading up? Why are we doing anything? I don't know. I see some potential in this kid, and he should be rostered right now.
6'7" with a 7'2" wingspan. He's 19 years old, James. I mean, you could look at that face and say it's youthful. Him and Sohan ain't getting in the bars together. Bilal Couibaly, I think, is definitely somebody that you got to temper expectations for. I think he's going to be solid. I mean, he's averaging 8.2 points on the season, obviously close to 12 for the last week or so. He's going to have some up and down games. I think he's finding his groove with the Wizards. Mm-hmm. And we've talked about last week, what is Brooklyn doing? Well, what are the Wizards doing? The Wizards have no flow on offense. They have a lot of guys like Kuzma. And
they're clearly tanking.
Yeah. I do think second half of the season, we're going to see even more consistent playing time. I wouldn't be surprised if the Wizards sold off Tyus Jones and guys that are on expiring contracts, and that opens up more minutes for him. But
who could use Tyus Jones?
Grizzlies.
Yes.
I wouldn't be surprised if he got reunited with them.
Oh my God. Well, he wanted a starting role. Right now he would have had it. It's so funny because it finished eventually. He just got a little disgruntled about being the second man, but he would have been A1 right now.
That's true. He got paid though. He got 2-year $20 million. I mean, maybe life comes full circle and he's starting for Memphis again.
Yeah, but the Wizards are eyesore. We don't know what's really going on. Daniel Gafford is not playing. I feel like they're playing to lose, which, as a tanking team, you look for that. It's so funny to think about who we're talking about, Bilal, right now, and then Jaime Jaquez, which like there's probably a 4 or 5. Like Jaime gets in the clubs, right? Like he can get his own drinks, even though right now in Miami they're paying for him. He's closing out games. He's shooting 50% the last 2 weeks, like basically 49 on the year. He's been consistent. And as a rookie, he seems veteran-esque. I've liked this game since UCLA. He looks cool now. He's in South Beach. He had some awkward years looking in UCLA, but his game is solid. He's just an overall good player, and I'm happy to see him carve a little role in Miami. Caleb Martin, it just came back. We'll see how that affects everything going on. We're about to talk about Duncan Robinson, but the Miami Heat have some wings. They just wing university, and 12 points, 4 boards, 2 assists, a 3, a steal. He's chills, 23%. Right, you can find him anywhere, but he's worth a stream and a watch, and I think he's going to be consistent. If people get hurt, he could step up in that role.
The Heat just lost yesterday against the Bulls, which I can't believe they did. But prior to that, they had won 7 in a row. And Jaquez was vital in that. And Coach, sometimes we just talk about people that fit the Heat culture. And I think Jaquez really started making a name for himself a couple of years ago when UCLA made that deep tournament run, put himself a little bit on the map. But he's somebody that does a little bit of everything. He's very unselfish with the ball. I don't think we see many games where he shoots a poor percentage from the field. For example, against the Hawks, took 17 shots. And then last night took 4 shots and played roughly around the same amount of minutes. So he's kind of doing what he's asked, and somebody that he's definitely worth a stash because, with the Heat, how many times are we going to see throughout the season that Jimmy Butler or Bam or some of their older veterans might have a rest day, second of back-to-backs. So 23% rostered, I think, 12-team league. He's somebody that's on the radar. Anything deeper than that, 14, 16, he definitely got to be rostered.
His teammate Duncan Robinson is shooting the lace out the ball right now. In the last week, 22 points, 4 boards, 4.5 assists, which is awesome to see him in a DHO role that he once got his contract in. And he's been a sniper, somebody that shoots the ball at a very, very, very high rate. And he's getting his opportunity again. A little second life for Duncan Robinson, who's small forward shooting guard eligible. And right now, 56% roster. He needs to be rostered in all 10-team leagues right now for the time being while he's shooting as high. And then if it drops off and his role backs off because Spo doesn't believe in him anymore, you can cut ties. But right now, when you shooting that many threes, and we're talking about categories league, you're going to win 3-pointers with him and other players.
They paid him a couple of years ago. He's making, I think, over $20 million a year. So they're going to play him while he's hot. I do worry that we kind of see last year where if he does lose some confidence from 3, that he sees his minutes reduced. I mean, like you said, he can win you the category right now. And over the last week, he's shooting 52% from the field. I mean, he's hit at least 4 threes in his last 4 games. So, just somebody who's super, super valuable from that perspective. Coach, did you ever watch Jimmy Neutron growing up?
Yes, sir.
Have you seen the thing that he looks like Gene?
I see it right now.
So if anything, add him for the nostalgia factor that he looks like Sheen from Jimmy Neutron. But
that's hilarious. Well,
I would be interested to see though if Duncan Robinson gets traded. Like if they try to go for a bigger person, a Zach LaVine, somebody maybe a bigger star that's disgruntled that is on the market, and that he's a trade piece that is dangled out.
If you're going back to his stats from last year, 37.1% from the field, 1.5 threes, 6.4 points per game. This season, he's doubled all of that. He's shooting 47% from the field, 3 threes, 14.5 from the field. He's doubled his rebounds.
He doubled his rebounds from 1.6 to 2.8.
Oh my God. Talk about an upscale.
He finally crashing the boards a little bit rather than just being outside the paint the entire game.
He doubled his
He's
rebound.
frail, man. He got to put some weight on. That's why he doesn't want to go in the paint.
That's funny. But Yeah, just shout out Duncan Robinson, good guy.
Oh, I
Cole
didn't know you knew
Anthony,
him personally.
I don't know. From other people's perspective, I don't know. He doesn't even seem like he would. I don't know if my sister decided that Duncan Robinson was their husband. Like I would accept it.
Okay,
I
I
don't
guess
know. I would have to meet him
I
in
guess
person.
that's the standard. If my sister married Duncan Robinson, all right,
I'd be okay with it. Okay, that's
that,
all I'm saying. And
that's
no, I
fair.
don't know him personally, but
That's fair. We're
all right.
basing it off of looks and the demeanor on the
Yes,
court.
yes, and demeanor and how you talk to reporters. Cole Anthony on there, man. Good strength for today. On the season, he's averaging 13 points, 4.5 boards, 3 assists. He will absolutely kill your field goal percentage. So, like, if you're punting field goal percentage and you're in the categories league, he is a really solid option. I picked him up today as a stream in an attempt to win assists and, have an attempt at steals, but he's not a high steal guy. Points was another thing that's on the radar, and he is liable to get you 30 in a night. He might get you 5. But Markelle Fultz out. There's worse options. And 33% roster. Like, you at least got to give him a look. I know he's featured a lot in the show, but yeah.
I mean, this is a categories league guy, and like you said, if you're willing to punt field goal percentage, even though the last 2 games he's 5 of 22, but still shooting 41% for the season. Coach, I am a little concerned though. This is his lowest average minutes per game in his career. And keep in mind, he's a young guy too. He's 23 years old, and he's playing less than 25 minutes a game, coming down from 26 last year, coming down from 31.7 the year before. Like, you should be earning more minutes the longer you're with a team. The fact that he's decreasing more minutes, I've said this on previous shows, he's coming off the bench. I would not be surprised if he was the Orlando guard that is most dispensable for a trade.
He played 37 last game, which was a season high. He played 22 the game before. You don't really know what you're going to get. I think that it shows his professionalism that he accepts whatever role is going to be given to him. They've added talent. They've drafted some players. Some players have gotten healthy, with whether it's Markelle Fultz, whether it's Anthony Black, whether there's a lot going on. And yes, I agree. Like, he is dispensable as far as, like, he shows that he's a team player and he can give you a bonus off the bench, especially when it comes to scoring. He's a really good rebounding guard. I've always liked Cole Anthony. I agree with you that I don't know if you said this, but I don't think he's a starting point guard in the NBA.
You know, a team could use him.
Memphis Grizzlies.
Memphis Grizzlies could use any guard at this point. And I mean, from his contract too, he signed a 3-year, $39 million extension before the season started. So 13 million isn't a lot for another team to take on, especially 2 more years after that. That's pretty team friendly.
I think you're on to something with this Memphis Grizzlies thing, because in lies Jacob Gilyard, the starting. I'm not making this up, and this is not a made up person. Jacob Gilyard is starting for the Memphis Grizzlies at point guard without D Rose, of course, without John Morant, Marcus Smart out for 4 to 6 weeks. He is somebody you should look at. I'm not a big fan of Jacob Gilyard. Hey, just like a random question, where do you think that Jacob Gilyard went to college?
I have this up, so this is going to be a cheat. The Barstow School.
What?
It says education on his Google page. The Barstow School.
No, he went to Richmond. He started for 5 years. He's one of those super seniors. He started every single game for Richmond, and he nearly averaged 3 steals a game. So he's a defensive stalwart. He hasn't seen all of that on paper, but as far as like the steals per game, but he is a good steal stream, and he's somebody to actually look at. And then if you're in the 14-16 league, that you get him.
Well, random private school in Missouri then just got one more click to his website, because now I'm curious what the Barstow School is. I mean, James, like, you hit the nail on the head. He's a deep league stream, and I think especially for categories, because he's giving you 2 rebounds, 3.2 assists, 2 threes, 1 steal. Like, that's not bad in a 14-16 team league. Or if you're somebody that, when Memphis plays and maybe has back-to-back, you know how I called Xavier Tillman Tilly?
Z2.
Do you remember that song by VIC, Get Silly?
Yeah, unfortunately.
I'm going to say we need to get Gilly and add him in a 14-team league. That's my dad joke for the day.
That's horrible. Other players that you might want to look at in the
That's horrible,
Grizzlies,
but you laughing.
David Roddy, Zaire Williams, as mentioned, with the Grizzlies going from the 2 seed to I don't know how they can find themselves in the playoffs. It's a mess. It's a wreck. Maybe at the end of the day, they benefit from getting a good draft pick, but I don't like that's a wasted year of Marcus Smart, Jaren Jackson Jr., who's seen a slight decline, and then John Morant. And I'm sure he's going to be electric when they come back, but I'm also sure that it's going to be a little too late. Malik Beasley, sniper. Bro had 8 threes against Toronto. That's wild. And he is a super 3-point streamer because he may do that on any given night. And I like the fit with Milwaukee coming in. They need shooting, and he provides that. And within the last week, 16.5 points, 24% rosters. You can find him for streaming. That's really all I have to say, except I don't know if you saw the Chris Middleton assist to him.
Yeah, where it slipped through his hands.
It was
slips through his
pass.
shooting pocket, and it lands perfect. I was watching the Hornets broadcast when that was going on with the Hornets announcers.
That was cool.
Yeah.
But other than threes and in points, you're not going to get much from him.
I mean, Malik Beasley, though, has shown this throughout his career, from the Nuggets to the Timberwolves to the Jazz to the Lakers last season. He's somebody that's averaged double digits, 10.8 for his career, shooting 39% from 3. It's ironic that he rebounds, or he has more rebounds for a guard at 2.7 for his career, 3.7 for the season than he does assists. That to me shows a little bit more value just from a categories league for what you can expect from him from a guard. I know he is small forward eligible, but he fits in well with that team also. And we've seen Middleton is sitting back-to-backs with right knee management. They seem to sometimes alternate Giannis and Dame, both kind of getting bumps and bruises. Jay Crowder's been out. So, I mean, Malik Beasley, I think more than 24% roster. I know there's no way he's going to drop 30 with 8 threes, 20 with 6 threes, but if you play DFS, this is somebody that you could add. Or if the Bucks have back-to-backs or 4 games in a week, I think he's the top stream.
You worried about the Bucks because of this
No.
Chris Middleton thing?
No.
Really?
Okay, so I am worried about Chris Middleton. He's had multiple operations on his right knee, and he's 32 years old, I believe. So I am worried about Middleton, but I think they're going to take time to gel. I mean, you don't just add someone like Dame, and who has been the focal point of his entire career, and expect it to be seamless. They're still 8-5, and at times they look like they're the top team in the East. I do think it's going to take a little bit of gelling. I do think they need a little bit more defense at the guard position because Dame is getting a little bit exposed, but I think they'll be fine long term.
I am a little worried. I got to be honest.
Okay.
I think they're going to be solid. They're going to be a top 4, but like the fact that they fell out last year, Chris Middleton just doesn't look himself. And when they won the championship, it wasn't too long ago, Chris Middleton was, Rodman, and he was out there when they needed a bucket. They gave him the ball, and he provided that. Obviously, they had Drew Holiday strapping up. They got Dame for it, but I think that a healthy Chris Middleton might be the gloopy, especially how the Clippers are. The Clippers, the Celtics.
Just wait for the buyout market, though. That's where they could get talent that's going to help plug those holes.
The Celtics looking like the team to beat in the East to me. I know the Sixers have had a good season so far, and we were just talking about 3-point streaming. In comes Sam Hauser, small forward, power forward. He's 14% roster. You can find him anywhere, and he's 3 threes on a season. At any time, we got Jaylen Brown a little banged up. He's good. He's really good, and it was a question coming into Boston with their bench. It looks really weak. We don't really know. There's a lot of question marks. He's been a solid contributor. He looked good last year, but like he definitely fits the role, especially the fact that they want to shoot more threes than anyone else. I like me some Sam Hauser, and every Sunday if I need threes, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna pick him up.
This is the only way I would add him. You need threes in a categories league. I'm not adding him in points leagues. I'm not adding him in categories league expecting for others. James, his last 2 games, he's taken 17 shots. 16 of those have been 3. If you watched, and it's funny, that's what we talked about Kyle Lowry. 74% of his shots have been 3s.
Yep.
But Kyle Lowry is a point guard, and Sam Hauser 6'7". And if you just see, he just camps out. He got his little tent there, got his little hammock. He just camps out. Got a little bit of s'mores roasting by there. He just goes there for like, I'm making these graphics. I'm like, okay, he had double-digit points, double-digit threes. I'm struggling to find what else. I put 2 rebounds in there. Like, that's a big accomplishment. Like,
yeah,
just know. I mean, this is a James guy. I'm giving you the green light. For
hey, bro, hey, chill. Don't put him on me.
Nah, he fits.
I guess I like him more than you, but he ain't the James guy. Don't put him on all Lewis like
I like
Jeremy
James 2 minutes ago. I like me some Sam Hauser.
I do. I like Sam Hauser, but it's not a team all Lewis. Anyways, Dario Saric, power forward center eligible. Draymond Green out for the forthcoming future. I mean, what was it? 5 games. He's already served 1 of them. Regardless, I mean, I don't know if there's a lock. I know he's 33% roster, but like, I'm not quick to click on him. It wouldn't be the worst thing, but he's power forward center eligible. That's cool. I don't know. I'm not buying no Sarge, especially at his 40.9% from the floor.
I just think for the 40.9% isn't bad.
It's horrible. What do you mean?
41% shooting from the floor is not.
It's horrible, bro. What are you talking about?
James, I don't know.
What Mendoza line do you play by?
Okay, I'm not saying
41%.
I'm not saying that isn't below average, but you act like that's Julius Randle, where he's literally a brick to kill your field goal percentage. Here's the thing about Sarge.
All right, hey, people put in the comments, is 41% acceptable? Absolutely not.
All right, Coach, I'm going to go on my rant about Dario Saric, but while I'm doing that, I'm also going to pull up Julius Randle field goal percentage, and you tell me what you think that is. But Saric is for the next week. I think once Draymond Green comes back, he's not going to have a role barring injury, but he's given you contributions and points, 21 and 12, 2 of the games the past week. Giving you rebounds. He had 10 against the Timberwolves on the 12th.
You want Randall stats?
A little bit of assist for a big man. And he's hitting a couple threes too, a couple steals. And yes, what do you think Julius Randle's shooting from the floor?
Randle is shooting 37.8% on the season.
Is that good?
And in the last week, he was 46.8. And last year, he shot 46%. So
I'm talking about for the season this year. I'm talking about for the season,
which is a sample size of like 12 games. What are you talking about?
And what is it?
Okay, so he's definitely struggled at the beginning of the season, but he's still a very, very, very good fantasy player.
Oh, no. I'm not debating that. I'm talking about from the shooting perspective. What do you think Jordan Poole's shooting, Coach?
Bad. 20. Okay, it's been a couple. He's had a very bad beginning of the year. Like, can I meme your ugly face right now? Oh my god.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
That's as ugly as his field goal percentage is on a daily. Anyways,
39.2 for Jordan Poole.
I don't even know what to say.
We could play this game all day.
I don't know what to say to you right now. But unfortunately, if you're a Jordan Poole owner, you're gonna hold, and he's gonna be bad. He's been horrible this season. Not as bad as Julius Randle. Julius Randle has been actually good. 20 points, 10 boards, 5.6 assists, and a steal. Like, okay, his percentages are gonna go up. His game is gonna go up.
What do you think Klay Thompson's shooting from the field?
What do you think in the last 2 weeks Julius Randle's done? 24 points, 9 boards, 6 dimes.
What do you think Klay Thompson's shooting from the field this year?
Really bad. I know he hasn't had a 20-point game and he averaged 20 last year. That is sad. I don't want
40%.
Okay. It's 40% is not acceptable. To me,
But that's
Doc
what
says
I'm saying.
it's okay.
I'm naming you guys that are shooting less, and we're not talking about them in the, oh man, 40% is awful. 42%, once again, is below the Mendoza line, but let's not act like that's killing field goal percentage as a category.
Shout out Jaime Jaquez, who hits half of his shots. On that note, that's all we have.
I hate you.
We're gonna fight virtually right now. That's all we have for you this time.
45%.
On the other end, if Keyonte George is out there, please pick him up. We'll see you next week. Please hit a like, sub if you enjoyed the show. Till next time, for Doc, unfortunately, I'm Coach. See ya. Peace.
Lately I've been feeling things change. We've been working hard, no sleep, get it every day. And I swear that we ain't stopping till we pay. Yeah, the pressure on, gotta make it work, triple play, yeah.